I'm Jared Haynes, and this is Rogue Outdoors. Today I want to talk to you about the Stone Glacier Cole 4800 bag on the X-Curve frame. So this is going to run you about $750 out the door once you get it fully set up with hip pouches and that kind of stuff. And it may be one of the very best backpacks that you can purchase on the market today. Got the Stone Glacier X-Curve with 3/4 of a buck inside of it. 2-point, got Abby's deer in there. We're gonna see how this thing works on the pack out. So let me get into the reasons why I believe that. First off, we're gonna be looking at the X-Curve frame. So the frame itself has a few really cool features that I think put it at the very top in technology out of all the packs on the market today. First is gonna be the X-Pack material. So X-Pack is this black material that's on the top portion of the shoulder straps. It's on the frame, and it's also on the back of the bags that Stone Glacier makes. And what that does is it's waterproof, so when you put the meat on your back, you're not transferring the blood into the fabric, which is a big deal when you're talking about hunting in grizzly bear country or other country where there's predators. You don't want to be walking around with, smelling like a dead animal. The next thing that the X-Pack does that's pretty cool, while we're starting at the top of the bag here, is where you can see these two materials meet, the Ranger Green, kind of Cordura, and then the X-Pack. That is a quick reference as to where this should line up on your shoulders. So that line should be at your collarbones, according to Stone Glacier. And when I set this up, it seemed to fit perfect. I really liked how quick and easy that makes it. Throw it on, see, if it's a couple inches high, a couple inches low. You undo the Velcro down here, slide the shoulder straps up, and it gives you a really close, if not perfect fit, right off the bat. Next thing with the X-Curve frame. So the X-Curve, as you can see here, gives a little bit more curvature to the back. And this is something you may end up having to call Stone Glacier and kind of talk to them about if you're not sure. But for me, if I'm standing with my heels against a wall and my shoulders against the wall, I can easily slide my forearm between the wall and my back. And that led me to believe that I have more of that natural curvature in my back, making the X-Curve the right pack or frame for me. They do also make a separate crux frame for people that I believe basically have a straighter back. Next, big innovation right here, and this is one of the only packs that this comes stock on, and I absolutely love this, is there's a load shelf built in halfway basically down the frame, and that keeps the weight up in the center of your back. So when I'm putting a quarter in this backpack, I'm taking the thigh portion and sliding it down first, because that's going to be the heaviest area. And it's nice that it keeps it up high. My previous pack that I used was a Kuiu, and it used the bag and the frame to kind of create a sandwich, which meant that meat was hanging down at the very bottom portion. And that moved it down lower on the hips. Just a few days ago, I packed out 3/4 of a deer, so the pack ended up being just at 60 pounds on my way out, and I was able to carry that no issue, and that's one reason, because that weight is up high and held firmly with the built-in load shelf. Really, really like that comes stock on the pack, so if you drop the bag, you can still carry meat no problem. Next thing we're going to move into is the hip belt. So I'm going to throw on the hip belt here to demonstrate this. And a couple things. So I'm 5'10", about 145 pounds, and I have a 31 to a 31.5 inch waist without, clothing and that kind of stuff on. And I have the small hip belt. Now, as you can see, I have quite a bit of space left for adjustment still. And this is fairly snug. This is about how I would pack just my normal everyday pack weight in here. And then if I added in the meat, I can really, cinch that up and make it just really glued to my hips once you're adding that, 50, 60, 70 pounds worth of meat and pack weight. They do have a really cool feature over here, and this is something that each company kind of varies on, and I like Stone Glacier's idea on this. So The hip pouch, or the hip belt right here, has a slit in it where it allows the top and the bottom to move independently of each other a little bit. What that does is it really hugs the top portion of your hip, but then also allows the bottom portion, if your hips kind of curve in, it can curve in with you. Or if your hips curve out, kind of flare out, it can flare out. And so it's not just jamming into you, it really moves with your body. And I really like that. And they give you the two tabs right here so that you can adjust that once the pack is off, get that perfect angle that you like, and it really holds this weight and holds onto your hips. So as you're moving and climbing over stuff, you don't have to worry about that hip belt coming off. Last thing I want to touch on is going to be the shoulder straps and load lifters. So the shoulder straps on these are pretty long. They come way down, give a good curve here, and I like that because on my Kuiu, I was noticing that the buckle down here would actually bang into my side or into my ribs. And this does not do that. It comes down, there's a nice curvature to it. If I strapped this up, you know, it holds in kind of nice and tight right here. And then I have a good angle, and obviously I don't really have any weight in the pack right now, but I have a good angle on the load lifters so I can pull those down and really lift that load up to give me good ability to climb over obstacles and climb up hills. Now let's look at the bag. So the Cole 4800 bag is designed in a really cool way to where everything is going to be equally distributed on your back. So the way that they do this is off of a pretty simple design. Right side, if you're a rifle hunter, is going to be your rifle. Center back is going to be your tripod. Far left side on the inside of the bag is a spotting scope pocket, which keeps it nice and protected, and it's evening out all that weight. Now, if you are a bow hunter, you're just going to move that tripod over to the right side. Rifle's no longer there, obviously, and the bow is going to go on the back. Spotting scope's still on the inside on the left side, keeps it all evenly weighted. I really do like having a couple admin pockets on the bag that you can access easily without having to get into the main bag. And so you've got this top pocket right here, flashlights and different binocular hookups and that kind of stuff can all fit right in here nice and easy. And then there's another main pouch that comes down the full length of the bag, and that, rain gear, other things can go in there very easily. They also have, and it's kind of hard to see because I got the bag strapped up, but down here on the bottom, they've got X-Pack material. So that way when you're taking your bag and you lay it down, it's gonna be able to stay dry and not get all wet. So overall, the definition of Stone Glacier to me is all the small things add up to make big things. And what I mean by that is, here's a small detail. The way that the bag hooks up to the frame, these straps are at an angle. So when the weight is in here, you're pulling that weight back up to keep that weight up high on you so it's not slouching down. Most packs on the market are gonna have the straps come straight back, which allows that weight, deer meat, sleeping bag, tent, all that stuff, whatever it is, to slide down in the bag a lot easier. And so that is just one small thing that the guys at Stone Glacier look at, evaluate, and add to the packs to make them pack as easy as possible, that a lot of other companies overlook and don't see. So I think for $750, this is definitely up there on the higher end of price, but longevity-wise, as I mentioned at the beginning, I've had this pack for about a couple months now, but I've had a buddy that had one for 4 years. I'm gonna throw up some pictures right now, and his pack has been not taken all that great a care of. He's still got blood on there from last year's deer. He will pitch this thing on the ground. He does not do anything special to help maintenance on it, and it still works and functions just like it's brand new. So I know the bags and frame and hip belt and shoulder belt, all that kind of stuff will stand up to the test of time. They come with a lifetime warranty. So I think if you're interested in a Stone Glacier bag or potentially switching from something else to give the Stone Glacier bag a try, I would seriously consider it. I am going to do a video here coming up that's got a comparison between the Kuiu bag, the Stone Glacier frame and bag, and the K4 from EXO. And that will give a little bit more insight into different bags and how they fit my body in particular. But if you're just looking for an overall, how good is this bag, it is one of the absolute best on the market, and I would say definitely consider it if you're looking for a new bag. Well, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel for more content like this coming out soon. Thank you.